Hey guys, I'm Ubiru and welcome back to World of Warships. Today I'm going to show you a replay I recently had in the Murmansk, the Tier 5 Russian premium cruiser. Now this is on big race standard battle, so typical objectives here where the enemy has one cap and we have another, and the objective is to cap the enemy base and win. Now the Murmansk is a carbon copy of the American tier line cruiser, the USS Omaha. That's because it's the same class as the USS Omaha. This was the USS Milwaukee that was temporarily transferred to the Russian Navy in 1944. So surprisingly enough, the Murmansk is far better than the USS Omaha, the American tier line ship, in almost every respect. The guns go further distance to 14.5 kilometers. The torpedoes go further at 8 kilometers. And the overall manoeuvrability and concealment is better on the Murmansk. You do, however, have 2 less guns and 2 less torpedo tubes, but that doesn't really matter. 2 low caliber guns or 2 short range torpedoes don't really come in useful in these sort of games. So as you can see here, I'm destroying this Congo in excess of 13.5 kilometers to 14 kilometers, which is a huge amount for a tier 5 ship, and that's what really puts this Murmansk apart from the USS Omaha. This ship, however, does have the same weaknesses as the USS Omaha. That's the very weak citadel, which is located in the center of the ship. This ship isn't particularly well armored, but surprisingly enough, it is slightly better armoured than the USS Omaha. It has a higher minimum armour of 6mm instead of 1mm. Now, I haven't done a full review of this ship just yet. I'm showing you this video today just to give you an insight of what to expect. I'll probably put that video out in the next couple of days. I've heard word that the 0.3.1 update will be released tomorrow, so I will be covering that to a very large extent. So with this ship, you have the same guns as the USS Omaha, with the exception that they go a further distance, so they do quite a lot of damage, and they have quite a large damage potential. I think it's around 3,000 for AP, and around 1,500 for HE. So as you can see here, I'm putting holes and holes into ships. So at this point in the map, I'm playing very defensively. I'm really deciding which ships to attack. I did just miss that ship there, but my allied finished them off. So now I'm going to switch my stance from defensive to offensive, drive down the middle of the map, hopefully pick out a couple of battleships, destroyers, but at this distance they can't see me unless I fire. So I'm very cautious here. If I fire in the open at this point, I will die, but I do see that the Independence is coming within range, and the Independence looks like an easy kill. He's only 14.6 kilometers away. Max distance of these guns is something like 14.8, so I'm going to move slightly to the right. He's sort of slowing down and we're speeding up, so I'm going to lead a couple of shots, hopefully get a couple on target. The Independence seems like an easy kill. 3,000 health left. Unfortunately, he went out of range and he is being covered by the enemy battleship. And of course, this ship is very weakly armoured, so you don't really want to engage battleships frontally. So now there's an incoming St. Louis, and the St. Louis is renowned for its massive amount of guns and amazing firepower at Tier 3. It has much better firepower than my ship at Tier 5. You really know when you've been hit by a broadside from the St. Louis. It doesn't have a lot of armour, it can be very easily killed. So I see the St. Louis coming in now. I probably made a mistake here coming too close to the St. Louis. He has a very fast reload, but I did launch some of my torpedoes. They are quite high damaging torpedoes, and here they come. Missed the first one, got the second one, and finished him off with the third one. So that's one ship down. The St. Louis is an easy kill though. He does have good firepower, but he has no armour and a limited amount of health. So now I see in front of me and the left of me, there's a cruiser and a battleship to the left, and a battleship directly in front lurking around this rock. I'm decreasing speed now, getting ready to lead these torpedoes to hopefully kill off the battleship. I did fire them a bit too early, I think, but here comes the enemy cruiser. Now the cruisers see me. I'm going to fire a couple of broadside here. As quick as that, 2 citadel hits, and we knocked him out. No regular hits there, just pure citadel all the way. So this ship isn't very pronounced in terms of how many guns it has or how powerful the guns are, but if you're lucky, you can get hits like that, and you can kill ships very easily. So I did miss those 3 torpedo spreads. I am slowing down and stopping here, just in case the battleship can see me. We are very close proximity, and it's very easy for him to turn his guns around and finish me off. I am only around 7,000 health left, so I have to be very cautious about what I do next. But it seems like his guns are pointing elsewhere, so I'm going to utilise this opportunity, get behind him, and continually firing my AP rounds into him. There we are, 3,000 damage. The reload of these guns isn't too bad. You can keep firing over and over again. 2,000 damage there, 115 there. Not major damage, but it all adds up. I think it's something like 8.5 rounds per minute per barrel, which is nice. 4.3 kilometers away. This guy's going quite some speed, but his guns are faced at a different angle. Got to continue firing at this guy. Allies are really supporting well here. We are winning by quite a substantial amount. This battleship is being destroyed. There's enemy carrier and battleship behind me, which I decided not to engage. This guy's got to die soon. His guns will be coming around soon to deal with me, but it seems like his engine has stopped. So I'm utilising this opportunity to fire some of my torpedoes to hopefully knock him out. I'm firing, there we are, 2,300 damage. My allies have sort of switched off. They're not really firing him at this point, so I'm thinking there's no point me firing at his main deck. It's best to fire at the back to hopefully knock out the rudder or the engine, so then he's stranded and he can't move. I don't know why he stopped at this point. He might have stopped himself. He might already have an engine break or a rudder broken, but we fired anyway. Here come the torpedoes, and there we are. 3,800 damage, and bye-bye battleship. So 2 enemy ships left. At this point we have 3 kills, which is quite nice. We see this Milwaukee in the distance there. An easy kill. He's sort of a bit stranded. But I did lead the shots a bit excessively. I wasn't sure if he was moving or not. Now I realise he's not. Seems he has it in full reverse. But when you've hit the map end, you can go forward and drive sideways. It's very odd. Going to fire at this guy anyway. He seems to be healing, but it seems to be in vain. He's taking substantial amounts of damage from allied ships, the Ubiru, the allied battleships. Last broadside coming in. At this point I don't think I'll get the kill, but the last shell that hit the guy finished him off. 155 damage and 4 kills. So it's been a good game, and this Murmansk is actually a fantastic ship. It's far better than the USS Omaha. If you like the USS Omaha, this is the ship to buy. It has a further range on torpedoes, a further range on guns. It doesn't have as many guns or as many torpedoes, but when you get those torpedoes or guns firing on the enemy from long distance, it really does make a difference. The ship does maneuver slightly better. It has a slightly less turning circle radius, a slightly less rudder shift time. It does, however, go the same speed as the USS Omaha, but it is a fantastic ship. It has the same health, and as I mentioned, it has very slightly more armour. I will do a full review of this ship soon, and it's just a really fun ship to play. The last enemy now is the Independence, and he's sitting in the corner. A good place for carriers to go at the start of battle, but not at the end, and he's being encircled, and he will soon die. I'm going to fire a couple of broadsides at this guy to show you guys the long distance of these guns. We are 10.6 kilometers. Fire coming in over and over again, 8.5 rounds per minute. It's not as fast as some guns in the game, but they can do a substantial amount of damage if you hit the enemy accurately. So I did lead the shots a bit excessively there, but it doesn't matter. Last shot's going in. We hit him down to 1,400. I expected the kill there, but unfortunately I did not get it. The last shot hit, but the Allies finished him off. In that match I got 270,000 credits, 3,600 experience, 182 free experience, 110 hits, 3 torpedo hits, 1 plane shot down, 1 critically damaged, 4 destroyed, 2 floodings, and 2 citadel hits. So in terms of the team, we came on top in terms of base experience of 1,631, which is pretty good. And in terms of damage, we got 57,000 damage with AP shells, and with the torpedoes, we hit the enemy for 18,000 damage. So I will review the Murmansk properly in the next couple of days. It's a fantastic ship. One of the best premium ships in the game, in my opinion. It's much better than the other tier 5 cruisers in the game at the moment. Usually with premium ships you get good parts and bad parts, but with this ship, according to statistics, it is far better than the USS Omaha in almost every respect. It has better survivability, it almost has the same artillery, it has slightly worse torpedoes just based on how many torpedoes you have, but not based on range. It has far better anti-air capability, it has better manoeuvrability, it has better concealment. This is one hell of a ship. So tomorrow we'll review the 0.3.1 update, which will include the American battleships, the Japanese carriers, a few other tweaks here and there. I think it changes some of the AP damages in the game, increases some of the high explosive damages. So this will be the first major update of World of Warships, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.